It's the role effect. We talk love, we talk faith. God first, couple goals, ain't no room for the hate. We keep it real, keep it true. That's the only way. Roll with us, pray with us.
Again, to the Role Effect Podcast. My name is Milton.
And I'm Felicia. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome, y'all.
We're so happy to be back with you one more time. Right?
Right. Back to the Role Effect.
You extra animated tonight. Why is that, sir?
Oh, no.
You got a lot of rest or something?
No, I just got to get my energy going. I got to get it going.
So how was your day?
My day was pretty, not too stressful. So on a Monday, so I can't complain. And you, my lady?
Oh, my day was great.
Good. On a Monday, that's real good.
Yeah. My day was great. Everything went well today, so why complain? Yeah. We seen a little snow flurries. I thought that was pretty crazy. Yeah. And it was extremely cold. So I don't know. I don't like this. I love fall, but the cold air is a little bit much for me.
I enjoy being out in it for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's just my kind of weather, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are so happy to be back with you guys. And before we go any further, did you subscribe? Subscribe to our channel. If you like our content, please subscribe to our channel. Show some love. This is the way that we can get our videos out into the world.
That's right.
So just, like, share it, comment, and subscribe to our channel, please. And also, don't forget to go look at our Wednesday video with just us with Milton and Felicia. We have a couple of videos on that on Wednesdays, right?
Yep.
Where we just doing us. Not so serious, date night in.
Yep. That one, I enjoyed that one, y'all. Y'all gotta check that one out. Man.
Check that out. That's our game night, game date night in, actually.
Right.
So that was pretty fun. So, we're just gonna get right into it, right?
Well, hey.
We're gonna start with a scripture as always. Like to start with a scripture. We're back with our scripture. If you have not been watching our videos, the last 4 weeks we talked about a book called Laugh Without Fear. Part 1 through 4 is on our channel, so go check that out. It was a really good read. We enjoyed doing it, reading and just exploring and talking about all the goodness of God. It was 21 things that the devil can't touch. 21 promises that the devil can't touch. We all need to know that. So it was really good. So consider going back and watching that as well, right?
I enjoyed that one there. I'm actually going back to look at some of that footage because it helped me a lot.
Yes, it definitely does.
So that one was good. So
So before, let's talk about our title today. It's Check Yourself. Are you hubby or wifey material?
Ooh. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Check yourself. Are you hubby or wifey material? All right, babe. Where you coming from today?
We coming from Proverbs 22:3. The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty.
Say that one more time. Say it one more time, babe.
One more time. The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty.
Yes.
Now, to break that down a little further, if you internally get revelation and you connect it and you listen and you wait for instructions and then you move,
Yes.
then you're going to be much smarter with how you navigate. But if you're simple-minded and you have no connection, you're going to keep doing the same old dumb thing, and then you're going to pay the penalty if you don't gain any wisdom.
Right. Because a prudent person, they're careful. They think things out. They're wise.
Strategic.
They're very careful going into situations and thinking about things and waiting for that instruction for God. Whereas a simple-minded person just goes off and does the thing that they're not instructed to do, and there's disasters that follows that, or suffering that follows that.
Repercussions.
There's repercussions for not following that. So we decided we're going to talk today about, are you hubby or wifey material? Are you? There's a movie out. I have not seen this movie yet, but there's a movie called Ruth and Boaz. And I am going to look at that movie, but I've often hear women say, I am waiting on my Boaz. Boaz is just like the one who one of the male figures in the Bible that is always talked about, because everybody want a Boaz. And I said to my husband, it's amazing that everybody want Boaz, but nobody want to be Ruth.
Oh.
Nobody wants to be Ruth. Because if we can just be honest about this, Boaz saw Ruth working. But a lot of people don't want that. They want the Boaz and what Boaz can bring to the table, but they don't have their table is empty because they want what they want, and they want when we were dating, it was so much different than now. Because when we were dating, it wasn't social media, it wasn't all those things, and so you didn't have all the influence of all the things that are around us now, all this influence. And so people think, I want this type of man, and he gotta make this much, he gotta look like this, he has to drive this, he has to have a house, he has all the things that we want in a man, but we're not willing to be Ruth. Ruth was dependable. She was a hard worker. She was loyal. She was faithful. Before she was faithful to her mother-in-law. Right? How many of you know that most times there is so much static between mother and daughter-in-laws? It is crazy, the stories I hear. My mother-in-law is no longer here. God rest her. But she was absolutely beautiful, amazing, inside and out. And I would give anything if she was right here in this moment, that we can go visit and see her and everything. So I don't understand, and I don't, because I didn't have a mother-in-law like some people, the stories that I hear.
You had a mother-in-law from hell?
No. I didn't have that type of mother-in-law. But
neither do I.
Right. But I hear a lot of horror stories when it comes to that. But Ruth was faithful to her mother-in-law, Naomi. And Naomi and Ruth and her other daughter-in-law, Oprah, all of them lost their husband. And Naomi wanted them to go on and live their life and go back where they came from. But Ruth was faithful. Ruth was so strong in her. She was like, I go where you go. And I'm not saying this verbatim, but I go where you go. I lie where you lie. I sleep where you sleep. I eat what you eat. I serve who you serve. I die where you die.
Woo! Ain't too many women like that these days.
I mean, we want Boaz, but do we really want to be Ruth?
Or do we have what Boaz had an eye for?
Right, because Boaz saw she worked very hard. She was a hard worker. That is what captured him. I can just assume that she was beautiful, but he saw a hard worker, and he's like, wait a minute, who is that? But we don't want to do the work. And that is what we're going to talk about today.
So some of them are going to be waiting for Boaz for a very, 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 very long time.
Very, very long time. But I kind of think we are Boaz and Ruth, though. Because where you met me at, what I was doing.
Working.
Okay.
She was working and not paying me no attention.
No attention. And that's what Ruth was. She wasn't paying boys no attention.
Mm-hmm.
Ruth was trying to feed her mother-in-law. And what is amazing is that this is how we miss out on our blessing, because Naomi wanted Ruth to go on because she felt that God had took his hands off of her, and that she, because she had lost her husband and her 2 sons, she even changed her name to like another name. I think it's Pity or something like that. I'll do a correction. Mm-hmm. But because she just felt, really basically unworthy, like God had took his hands off. But because of Ruth's dedication and her commitment, he restored everything to her. And this is how we miss out on people, because Ruth was the answer for Naomi. Mm. And Naomi wanted to be with her regardless. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we miss out on things because we don't see that this person can be your blessing.
Right. So through Ruth, who was so loyal, and God saw that, mm-hmm. He blessed her with the husband.
Yes.
That everybody wants.
Yes.
And the mother-in-law.
Yes.
So it just can't. Now, that would have been an easy situation to leave that blessing without knowing.
Yes.
Because of the circumstances.
Absolutely.
But because of the loyalty and being faithful.
Yes.
It just went from one to the other. Yes.
It's just a beautiful story. If you haven't read it, you need to go read that. But so we're going to talk about that. Are you hubby or wifey material? So let's talk about a few things. Are you responsible and reliable? This is what you need to think about when you're thinking about being with another person. Are you responsible and reliable? Because it is going to take both of those things to be in a relationship with another person. What I realized when Milton and I got together is that I think we both were responsible and reliable. I definitely think we was that, but sometimes I think that responsible wasn't too high on the priority list at that time.
We had to work on some things.
Yes.
I mean, we were in our early 20s, so being responsible, sometimes you got to go through some things to get to a certain level.
Yeah.
It's
but you have to be willing.
You have to have a willing heart to work towards that responsibility. To be able to do that.
Yeah. Yes.
And if you don't see that and you don't work at it, because you have to work at it to get to that level.
Yeah.
So it just depends on where you start. I suggest you start as early as possible.
Yes.
Because a lot of people do start that trail early as opposed to lean on mom, dad, grandfather. Then they want to start a little later.
Yeah.
But you don't have the experience at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
So
and so with that being said, like, since we've been in our relationship we're getting ready next week to celebrate 36 years next week.
Oh, we're gonna have a party.
Yay! So we get ready to celebrate that. So I know we have a little input on this.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
So I would give myself this advice. So the advice that I'm saying to you, that we're saying to you right now,
the other
20-year-old Felicia, I would be giving her this advice. Being responsible and being reliable starts before you come into this relationship with someone else.
That would definitely work out better.
You got to be responsible and be reliable. You got to be happy with yourself prior. You got to love yourself prior. Because what Milton could not do is make me responsible, make me reliable, make me love myself, and make me be happy with myself. that's something he could not do. I had to be happy within myself so that I can, and all he did was add to that. But because in the beginning, if you go back and look at some of my videos, I wasn't happy with myself because I had to learn who I was. So that is very important to work on yourself. When you're by yourself, it's time to work on yourself. Because even if you have never been in a relationship before, if you are have a relationship with God and you're working on yourself, he will be your guide in your relationship, I feel, right?
Yeah, I think those are first stages of preparing pre-relationship.
Yeah.
You know, because then you don't bring so much learning to the table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you may find somebody more compatible.
Yeah.
Because if not, and you all of us, it's just like a grown woman and a boy. If he hadn't learned a certain skill set to become a man, because he hadn't been responsible or be reliable to do things, then they're going to have an uneven match.
Yes.
It's going to be totally unbalanced.
You can be unequally yoked.
That's true.
And you should be equally yoked.
And it's going to take more work
to
try to fix that. Especially if he's not used to fixing it.
Yeah.
He's being himself.
Yeah.
So then what happens? So you want to be in position, I think.
Yeah.
So that you can meet that person because, look, I'm already reliable. I'm already responsible. And that I need to meet somebody either right there or even past above that. That's how you set standards.
Yeah. And then you have to have the same goals, because if he has a goal that is different from your goal, there's going to be some friction. So it has to be communication. Communication is key. Transparency is key. You have to be transparent and you have to be able to have hard conversations. Conversations that are not always pleasant. It's not always good. It's not that that feel good conversation all the time,
Right.
It's not that. It's hard conversations about where you going financially, where kids, just where kids going, what school system, how we want to raise them, what that looks like is very important when you're dating, to have these conversations. Because listen, if you don't have these conversations and you guys going in different paths, you've just wasted 2 years or
4 years or 7 years
or your life,
years. Right?
And you never had the conversation. So I feel like being transparent and being your authentic self.
Oh, that's a big one right there.
Being your authentic self is very important, because you can bring your representative to the date if you want to. Eventually, the representative is going to go away and your true self is going to show up. So be transparent about what you feel, how you feel. And it's okay if it doesn't work for that person, then that's not your person. Like the scripture says, God always give instruction. He always give you signs prior to things happening, right? One of the things was when he gave instructions to Noah. Hey, there's about to be a flood. I need you to do X, Y, and Z so that you and your family can be saved. Now, had Noah not followed those instructions, he would have suffered. There would be disaster his way. So he gives you
he gives you the instruction and the roadmap.
Yes. Prior to the disaster happening. And
in those days, they looked at Noah and thought that he was insane to build such a big vessel. But he had to build that vessel to accommodate all the animals, all the different things to take with him. And they was like, how do you know this? Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
But regardless of that, he knew he had a connection and he knew that he needed to do what he needed to do in order to survive. He followed the instructions and
followed the instruction. And the same with Lot when the angels went to say, hey, you need to leave here because the city was wicked and the city was going to be destroyed. And he said, he instructions was go.
Run forward.
And don't look back. Well, somebody look back and turn into a pillow of salt. But, you got to keep going. Don't look back. Which is sometimes he's saying, this relationship is not for you. You need to move forward and don't look back.
Oh, boy.
Don't look back. Sometimes with the instructions and the signs are there. And we overlook signs because we want so badly for relationships to work.
Right.
We want so badly for just to be with a person.
We're trying to self-repair.
Yeah.
Without the higher being to make sure that's where you need to be.
Right. You need to make sure that this is the person that you are meant to be with.
And a lot of times you do get signs. You'll hear stuff like, you know what? Why am I going through this? And then you end up trying to fix it.
Yes.
And then the next week is something else. And you think, I remember used to say we had friends that we used to talk to and somewhat walk them through some processes.
Yeah.
And used to say, love cannot be this hard. If they would only put that first instead of all the things like, okay, I'm going to have a conversation because I love you, right? Mm-hmm. Let's work this out. And why do it have to go my way all the time?
Yeah.
Then it would probably work out better, but it's always that selfish thing.
Yeah. I feel like relationships are made more difficult than it should be. It's because it's a lot of times one or the other don't want to be in. They don't want to, they have their own idea of what they want and they don't want to compromise. And compromising is a big part of relationship because you're going to need to compromise.
Oh, how about this? Compromise is mandatory.
It's mandatory.
If you want a relationship.
Yes.
If you don't want to compromise, then that means I'm single and I stay by myself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah. You can't be selfish because there's another person. When you're by yourself, you can be selfish all you want because you can do whatever you want. But when you bring another person into the equation, there is going to be change. There is no way you can come into a relationship and not change. I don't care who it is. You will need to change because you have two different personalities, two different upbringings, two different, first of all, man and woman.
Let's start right there.
Let's start there.
If you don't realize
that,
right, if you don't realize that major significant difference, then you don't need to be in a relationship. Right? You got to deal with a man's point of view and then deal with a woman's point of view. But just to put the icing on the case, if it's you by yourself, okay, that's me.
Yeah.
But when it's you as a couple, that becomes we.
Us.
Yes. That's no longer me. Me means I'm thinking about me only, okay?
Yeah.
For all you men that need to grow up.
Yeah.
And understand that process. And think you always right. And you so women.
Yeah.
Think you always right. It's from your perspective. It is not from your perspective all the time.
Right.
If it is, you stay in the me zone. That's what we should call it. A me zone or a we zone. Right? We zone for two people. Me zone, I'm by myself.
Okay.
Does that work?
That's what you
it
want.
It worked for me, y'all. I'm just telling you. Trying to break this down for y'all.
But know that this is what you need to do in order to be in a healthy relationship is to work on these type things. Now, if your red flags are going to be if you're selfish, if you're not willing to compromise, if you're not willing to have hard conversations, if you're not willing to go the extra mile for another person other than yourself. You know, if you can't be committed, responsible, reliable, these are red flags that maybe you should remain single until you're ready to take that next step, because it's important to take care of these things prior to that commitment, because that commitment is major.
Right.
And in your vows, it is for better, for worse, richer or poorer. You know why? Because all of those things are seasons, and all of those things will happen at some point in your relationship. Are you ready to have all these things and know that there's another person other than yourself that you're going to have to help in sickness, help financially, help when it comes to the better or the worst, the imperfections, the falls, you know, all the things that you are going to be, you're going to need to make sure that your mind already know that I'm taking on this responsibility as becoming his wife. Then what does that look like? What does that look like? One thing that I need to definitely say is about submission.
Oh boy.
Because there are so many women I hear that say, I am not submitting. I don't really understand that, because I don't understand. Now, if Milton was a worldly person, a worldly man, of course I wouldn't submit. But then the question becomes, why are you with someone that now you're not on the same page where you can't even follow him? If I can't follow him, that's red flags right there. If I cannot follow him, there's your red flag.
It's already unbalanced right there. It's out of order.
Yoked.
Yeah, it's out of order.
Because I should be able to follow him where he goes and know that he is getting directions from God, and that he's going to take us where God is instructing him, so I can follow. I have no problem with submitting to that.
So if I'm not submitting, I don't really trust you.
Exactly.
So why am I with you?
Exactly.
So now you got to question yourself.
Right.
And where are your standards?
Right.
And that's where you get into that line of calling each other names, because you ain't got no standards now.
No standards, no morals.
When you get mad,
nothing.
it ain't going your way.
And understand that submission is not only for me. Submission, Milton has to submit to God as well. Because Milton, listen, ladies, I want you to really listen to me. The Bible says that Milton, my husband, should love me more than himself. It says, will you hurt yourself? So I am one flesh with him. So he is supposed to love me more than he loves himself. So that means that I am so high on this list that is so easy. It should be easy for me to submit to that, because nothing he's going to do is going to hurt me, because he loves me more than himself.
Well, and that's biblical. But
That's
you
biblical.
should also feel that.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's the other part of that.
Absolutely.
I could say it all day long,
Yes.
but if you don't feel it, then it's questionable.
Yes. But that's the thing. Because prior to, when we had boyfriends and girlfriends and stuff of that nature, and we knew we didn't need to be in that relationship, but we didn't listen to nobody, and we just were in the relationship. But now as adults, and as I look back over it, if I can tell anybody anything, it's like, be very cautious on who you select to be a part of your life. Because it will affect not only you, but your offsprings and theirs. It is a lot of hurt people that are out here right now hurting people. because they're not ready to be. No, when you take on relationship, you take on so much. You take on so much of that other person's issues, problems, insecurities, habits, their family,
DNA,
all that stuff. We take on all that, and we don't look at that because we just really infatuated, I feel like, in the beginning of that person.
Right. So I would say definitely try to establish some sort of standards.
Yeah.
And don't be so in a hurry to be in a relationship. Get to know people.
Yes.
You got to dive in and really get to know the person before you commit to stuff.
Yeah.
What's the hurry?
Yeah.
I think we're so in a hurry to commit and put a title on it.
Yeah. Because so many people they like the idea of marriage and they want the ring, but there is work after the ring. There's work after the altar. There's so much work to do. It is consistently working every single day to see how can I do things better than I did yesterday or the day before.
At least you should try to improve.
Yeah. Every day,
no matter what.
Every day.
You definitely.
Yes.
And the ring is just saying, I'm getting started.
Yeah.
Get started in this race, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So and you gotta nurture it.
Yeah.
100%. And if you don't do that, and with that means I have to forget about the me.
Yeah.
And think, what am I gonna do to make her feel better? And then she reverses that and say, well, what am I gonna do to make his life even better?
Yeah.
That's how you keep that thing going.
Yeah.
But if it's all about me and it didn't make me feel good that you didn't do this, then you got to reevaluate some things.
Yeah.
You should not bring that into a relationship.
Yeah.
It is time to grow up, set standards, and be clear of that.
Be very clear. Us coming on our anniversary, like I said before, our anniversary is next week. So this is a perfect topic to talk about right now because we're celebrating over 3 decades of just being together. And was it a fight? Absolutely. Did we have difficult times? Absolutely. Hard times, financially disastrous and all the things, we went through a lot. But being in a marriage and really staying in that marriage, it's like no matter what, we're going to exhaust all our means. We're going to exhaust everything and see if we can just work this thing out and make sure that if we walk away, we've exhausted all means, right?
It's almost like being in the boxing ring. I'm going to fight you until I knock that thing out and we're going to stay in this.
Yeah. And you just want to continue to just check in with each other and see if it's so, are you good? How's your heart?
That's when you done graduated to the me thing.
Yes.
Because the me thing will not allow you to do that. The me thing just worry about me.
That's the one flesh.
Yeah.
That's when you
equals one.
One person. You become one. So I would say to you guys, if you want to know whether your wifey or hubby material is, take an assessment of yourself and see exactly where you stand. And if you just a little bit, you a little selfish and you don't really want to commit to another person, it's okay. You can take as much time as you want. I would say take the time to just get yourself right and know exactly what it is that you want and ask God to send you that person that He intends you to be with. Because that would save you a lot of suffering and all this disastrous nonsense. If you would just do it biblically, do it Bible. I honestly feel like I was very blessed when I met my husband for so many reasons. But it still came with work, and I had to, change a lot about who I was, because I had another person that I had to be very cautious about what I say, how I said it, because regardless of the things I can say I'm sorry all day, but the words have already been said.
Right.
So just be mindful. Right?
Be mindful of the other person if you're gonna be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like I said, it takes work to dissipate your selfishness, because you've been with you. Now when you're entering with somebody else, you gotta kind of erase that a little bit. I'm not saying your good qualities and all that and what you think.
Right.
But you gotta, if you're gonna be with a person, you're gonna have to commit to take care of them and then go on the ride and the journey with them. But think of them, and they should think of you more.
Yes.
And it should equal out.
There's definitely a journey.
And it's going to be work, so don't let nobody tell you any relationship is going to be a cakewalk.
It's not.
Because that ain't what it is. So if you think about that, when you get into a relationship, okay, I got to work. I got to work at it. I want to keep this going.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. You're going to fall down, but get up.
And pray about it.
Definitely that.
This is our advice to you. Just pray about it and wait for the answer. He'll send a messenger to you. Whether it's, you might just open a book and something is there. You might listen to a sermon and you hear what you have been praying about. God will send the word for you to let you know whether to move forward, because he don't deal in mess at all. God is not mess at all. So if you got a lot of that going on, I think you need to rethink.
Oh, definitely relationship.
Rethink. Really rethink.
Because all you going to do is transfer that mess in the mix of everything.
Absolutely.
And if they got mess, then both of y'all going to have all kind of mess.
And listen, it's not that it can't be rectified or fixed or whatever you want to call it, but you got to make sure that you are focusing on you and know exactly what you want. I think my thing, when I first got with my husband, I didn't know exactly what I wanted. I couldn't tell him what I wanted because I didn't know. I didn't have time to work on me and fix me and do all the things. Because I didn't know what I know now. So I'm loving the fact that I have this platform to be able to tell you, whomever might be listening at this time, it's like, work on yourself. Love yourself. Get to know who you are, whether you're female or male. It's both of you. Do the work for yourself before you bring somebody in your chaos, in your crazy. Because you don't want to bring another person in all that. Like, fix everything you need to fix about yourself and go into a healthy relationship when you've prayed about it. I mean, you guys, if you look at the social media, there is so much abuse that is going on with relationships. It's scary. I have granddaughters that I'm like, oh my goodness. I definitely will be on my knees consistently, because there is so much and they're so young and so vulnerable, and they looking for direction and guidance, and we have to be that for them.
Right.
So that when they choose, it's a God-sent person that's going to love them more than they love themselves.
Yeah. And I won't say, it just depends on your experience, is how easy that may or may not be. Mm-hmm. But if you worked on yourself and you know your standards and you assure yourself of what you want, mm-hmm. then technically you should be able to land a decent person. What you don't want is mess and a lot of stuff you got to deal with and work with because you ignored it.
Yeah.
You just went on outside appearance because they look nice.
Yeah.
You need to be judging what that
Or they don't look nice.
But you got to judge of what that spirit looks like on the inside, that heart.
Yeah.
How is that heart making you feel?
Yeah.
You know, because
I think also
that take all
that comes from asking God to send you somebody.
Right.
When you ask God, God will send you the person for you. Now, he may not look, or she may not look like you want them to look, but they probably a good person. I think a lot of people miss out on they somebody.
They do,
because they looking for from the outside, looking like I don't know about this
right.
person.
Because I'm not dark, tall, and handsome in all three of those things.
What does that mean?
You know, most of y'all want dark, tall, and handsome.
I don't know why my husband always putting himself down.
No, I'm not putting myself down. I'm just saying I'm just not that category when I met you, you know, but I'm just saying. Again, and then look, when we met, we passed by each other. We were in the same facility.
Yeah.
You weren't looking for me.
No.
So you made a point. A lot of people pass who they probably supposed to be with.
Yeah.
But because I had heard the whisper, I came after you. I obeyed. I listened to the instructions, even though I was a knucklehead back then. But I listened.
Yeah, you definitely was a knucklehead.
Yeah, with a lot of work too, y'all.
Yeah,
we don't want you to think that nobody was perfect in this, and that's what I want to say. You're gonna have to do the work.
Yeah. Because
if I recall, when I met you, I told you I was difficult. Now, most people would run away from that, but I understood. I was a little transparent, wanted to put it on the table, and no matter what stupid and crazy stuff I did over time, still, as long as I worked toward fixing things, me, and she started doing it too, it started to move the wheel and work out. Yeah. You know, but it took time.
So much better now because I feel like we really genuinely know each other, and so we want what's best. And when God is in the midst of this whole thing, let me tell you something. It's so amazing because I can have an argument or disagree with Milton. I can't stay in that space for no longer than 15 minutes. I used to could stay mad. Like, I could hold a grudge.
It could be 3 days to a week. 3
I
days
could
to a
hold
week.
a grudge. I can no longer hold that because God is holding me accountable for the
Thank
person
God.
that I am in this marriage, the wife that I am. So it takes work.
That was work right there.
It takes work.
Yeah.
And so I don't want you to think that, you know, it doesn't, because it does. But I feel like if you honestly give it to God, we have to give God everything. I'm telling you, your life will be much better. And let me tell you, as soon as you give it to God, the enemy is coming. He's coming. He's going to attack. That's what he does.
He's going to remind you of all your defaults, all your issues.
Yes, he's going to remind
your past, all of that.
He's going to remind you.
But what I would say is be honest and truthful with yourself of what you know about you, and also start to work and change those things.
And when you hear those voices, listen to the one who is motivating you, who is pushing you forward, who is telling you you are good. You're a child of God. Listen to that voice. Do not listen to the voice of the enemy that tells you you're nothing. You're not going to be able to find anyone. You don't have what it takes. You're not pretty enough. You're not smart enough. Do not listen to the enemy, because his job is to kill, steal, and destroy.
That was the sermon Sunday, huh?
That is his job. To kill, steal, and destroy. Don't you let him win. Don't you let him. You are a child of God. And if you desire to be a husband, if you desire to be a wife, then it's there for you if that's what you desire to.
That's true. And don't ever think you so low of a person that it can't happen.
That's
we all are sinners. We all got issues. We all got problems.
That's right.
And default. You just be honest with yourself so you can clean that stuff up.
Work on it.
And get your standard. You
and
definitely
don't
want
let
your standard.
Your past dictate your future. Don't do it. Don't let your past is in the past. It's the past for a reason. It's in the past. Don't you let that hinder you from moving forward in your life. Pick yourself up and it's going to be okay. Even if you had a bad relationship, it's okay. Pray for the next one and God will send you who He wants in your life.
If you had a bad relationship, think of that as training day. Now you know, don't get into those type of relationships. You should see signs. Learn from it. Learn from it.
That's right. But pray. In everything, pray about it and wait on God to send you the person that He desires for you to be with. Right?
Right. Absolutely.
Well, that's our spiel on
are you fit to be wifey, hubby
check
material?
yourself. Are you wifey or hubby material? Check yourself. Just analyze yourself and see if that's something that you want to do. If it's not, don't take anyone through something that they don't need to go through because you have all these issues. I wish I could have fixed a lot of things prior to my husband, but we just fixed it together. We just worked on it together. Look, but you can do better than me.
Right. If someone has counseled us earlier in life, point these things out, at least it'll be food for thought.
Yeah.
And you can't say that you didn't know about them. Yeah. You know, a lot of times we're robotically just walking through things and we're fascinated and we're not thinking to ask the right question.
Right.
So that's why you got to have communication. Yeah. Before you put a title, you don't need a title immediately. People so in a hurry. Oh, my girlfriend. No, we friends. Let's have conversation.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, just pray about it and just be mindful of just checking yourself. You know, do a check on you to see where you are and if it's something that you honestly want. If not, stay single and don't take someone through the heartaches of all the drama and all the trauma that you had in your life. Don't take another person through that. It's not necessary.
Better yet, sometimes you may need to get some help.
Yeah.
Because you may be dealing with something that you can't really fix until you talk to somebody.
Right.
So don't be afraid of that part, because what you want to do is set yourself up.
Yeah.
For a relationship.
Yes. Not
go from one to the other, to the other, to the other, and you don't know what's wrong, and you saying it's them, but you the common denominator.
Yeah. And not only that, you know, especially as African Americans, it's you know, therapy was just like taboo back in those days. But now we're starting to talk to people and go to counseling. Go to counseling and talk about things, because sometimes you need to just talk about your past traumas, because sometimes past trauma lingers so long and you've like pushed it down so far so that you won't have to think about the hurtful things, and sometimes it just pops back up and then you have to relive this stuff. Like, go talk to somebody and get it all out. Sometimes you just need that. You just need to get it out and just have conversations. So get therapy, do whatever you need to do so that when you go into any relationship or you choose to be by yourself, that you're at your best, you're healthy, you know, and you're happy, you know, because that's what God wants us. He don't want any of us here miserable and living a life of misery, whether we decide to be married or single. Whatever your choice is, just be happy and get the help that you need, you know.
And I want to say one other thing that I don't really like, but they put it out there a lot. If you're in a relationship and it's over, you break up. Stop saying the best way to solve that is to hook up with somebody. A rebound person.
Yeah.
The first one didn't work because something was out of order.
Yeah.
Get yourself together and you'll know it when you're ready, I think.
Well, I think that comes from just pain. Because pain is inevitable and
but that doesn't
we're going to
solve
hurt.
It, right?
No. And we're going to hurt. And sometimes you just want to have conversation with someone else because you just hurting it. But that doesn't fix the situation. Sometimes we just marry wrong. Sometimes we just have, if you're not married and just in a relationship, sometimes we just in the wrong relationship. Mm-hmm. And that scripture is know the signs, because there are signs before you get into a relationship. We just don't look at it. We just ignore the signs, right? We ignore the signs, because I definitely should have listened to the sign when he told me he was difficult. If I had listened to that sign, then I'm like, wait a minute. Let me think about this, because I should have asked more questions like, what do you mean by you're difficult? What does that mean? And how will that work in a relationship so that he can emphasize on that? And I didn't ask any questions. Mm-hmm. So this is what I'm saying. Right. Ask the questions.
That when I think about it,
can't even talk.
If I'm you, I'm thinking, wait, did he say that? But outside of that, we had such a great friendship.
Yeah.
So that went away real quick once we got to talking. Yeah,
but I'm just saying
but it was kind of crazy to put out there.
I should have asked questions about, and I overlooked that. And then once we start that relationship and I start noticing certain things, I'm like, oh, this is what he meant. Mm-hmm. Well, you should have been asking questions, Felicia. And I didn't ask the questions.
But we did work on a lot of those issues.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we wouldn't be here if we hadn't worked on that.
We would check in and we would look in the mirror a lot and understand what kind of different issues that we had.
Yeah.
And then try to address them and work them. And that's the true statement. We would work our issues while we were in our thing. Yeah. I don't really suggest that now because I know better. Why don't you try to do that prior?
Yeah, work on it. And you know your issues.
Right.
You know if you're a selfish person. You know if you're hard to deal with. Work on yourself.
I put it out there and didn't
work on yourself. Work on yourself before you enter into a union with anyone. And just pray about it and ask God to send the person that He has designed for you. All right?
True that.
Okay.
True that.
Well, that is going to conclude. Check on yourself.
Before you wreck yourself.
Are you hubby or wifey material?
That's good.
Check on yourself, right?
That's good.
So we're going to ask you to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Mm-hmm. We would appreciate it if you like our videos. Show some love.
Love.
Comments. Say hi. Let us know that you're watching. A lot of people watch and they don't say anything.
Yeah, don't be scared out there.
Say something to us to let us know that you're here. You can also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And don't forget to watch our episodes on Wednesday. So, it'll be, I'm sorry, we are on Wednesday. Don't forget to check our episode out on Sunday at 3 p.m. with just us, Milton and Felicia. We try to come, with you on Sunday with something fun and, just us being silly and having a good time together. Okay?
Yep.
So, with that being said, do you have anything else you want to say to the Roll Squad?
Roll Squad, we appreciate your support.
Yes.
And, if you got any questions or any subject matters that you want us to maybe talk about and do in the episode, feel free to put it in the comments.
Yes, absolutely. And until next time, we love you and we'll see you on Sunday.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Yeah, it's the role effect. We talk love, we talk faith. God first, couple.